Hey everyone, so I wanted to do a quick update on Bitcoin as we're at a really key level, and I want you to pay attention to these levels because this is probably going to decipher whether we start to make a move to the upside or we start to create lower lows and maybe start to really start to spiral out of control. So pay attention. We want to be looking at things in an objective way so that we are not just hoping that things go in the direction that we want. Most of us want it to go up, right? But if the charts are showing us that things are going to go down and the markets and the charts are looking pretty shitty, we've got to be aware of that and stay on the right side. Remember to drop me a like down below. It takes me a long time to do these videos. It really massively helps me out, so drop me a like down below if you haven't already, and of course subscribe to the channel if you haven't already as well. So let's get straight into it. So we are at a really key level, pivotal level at the moment, okay, where I think Bitcoin is going to tell us whether we start to create new lower lows and lower highs. Okay, so if we just zoom out for the minute, obviously we are in this sustained downtrend, and I just want to mark out that this weekly, sort of double tweezer rejecting candles that we got last couple of weeks, right, look absolutely horrendous, and it is just pointing down to lower prices. But Bitcoin does have a last stand, in my opinion, at the moment, if it wants to move towards a, at least a higher dead cat bounce if we don't go on to new all-time highs. And if we drill this down to the daily, essentially what we are clutching at over here is we've got these higher highs over here. We've broken back down and retraced into this order block at about 37 and a half $1,000, and Bitcoin really needs to get a move on, like really soon, okay, if we want to move any higher. I've marked out the 40k region over here, okay, because that's really the main area where we see low volume, and we've spoken a number of times about low volume areas, and we always say we either get a bounce, okay, and we don't hang around at these prices for very long, or we just fall apart and fall straight through, okay. So that's why, at the minute we're at this really key level. We've fallen apart from 40k, and if we want to make a higher high, we need to start creating some market structure and some bullish candles, which is going to show us that we can possibly move a little bit higher. Okay, if we take a look at the trend line, okay, I was expecting some kind of bounce here, and we're literally at like thin support at the minute. Okay, and we're at this trend line as well, right? Which is a key trend line, and I'm expecting a reaction, or I was expecting a reaction a little earlier. We did get a nice reaction into the start of the day if I drill this down to the 4 hour, right? But again, like, we're just completely falling apart, and any rally is just creating lower highs, okay, and lower lows, okay, and the market structure is really starting to turn quite ugly. So we really need to hold this, and in my opinion, if we break this $36,000 level, like, we're really close, in my opinion, like clutching at straws, right? And I think we're going much lower. We're going to revisit these lows and probably down below over here. And I told you that my contention is that this will not be the low, okay? I was hoping that maybe we could get a bounce a little bit further to the upside, maybe to challenge that 50k level before any kind of further weakness in the market. But that's what the market is telling us at the moment, and I do think that if we do break 33k, like I've said before as well, my contention is it will be probably quite an ugly sell-off, and I'm not expecting this to hold. I'm expecting maybe some kind of bounce. Maybe I'm sure buyers will step in at this level and price will stall out for a little bit. But I do see us undercutting these lows at some point, and I've said to you multiple times that my base case scenario is about 25k, so I just want you to be aware of that. I'm not saying that we have to go there. I'm trading these markets and I'm holding spot, right, and I'll be adding into my spot position in areas of value that I've spoken about, okay, but as well, that's basically the way that I'm looking at things at the moment. It really needs to get a move on and just basically blast through 40k pretty damn quick, okay, if we want to move to the upside. Now, I don't want to create any sort of like panic or anything like that, but I'm just telling you what I'm seeing, okay? But in the event that we can hold this level and we hold this trend line and we create a higher low from here, okay, I would expect, potentially, it does leave us room to attack this $51,000 dollar area, and that's the way that I'd be trading this market. So For me, I'm actually in a trade at the minute where I got in a little earlier. My stop loss is down here at 36, and I'm happy to lose that trade. That's not really a problem for me, okay? That's my trading account, and I make money on those, on the swings, both to the upside and to the downside. But yeah, I thought this was definitely worth a pop to take to the upside just in case we continue up higher. But that's essentially how I'm viewing the market at the moment. So to be clear, if we hold 36,000 and we don't break below that, okay, and we create this higher high here, literally last stand territory at the minute, then we have potential to move higher. But at the moment, it is not looking like that, okay? As I said, my base case is that we eventually break below this $33,000 area, but I'm not sure if we break it now or we break it a little bit later, because Bitcoin can do crazy things. And when Bitcoin does Bitcoin things, everyone... it can really surprise everyone, so just be aware. And as we've spoken about before, so long as the DXY, the dollar index, right, is continuing to show strength and uptrend to the upside like this and create these higher highs and higher lows, and we're stair-stepping its way up, that is going to put more pressure on Bitcoin. So like I said, you need to keep an eye on a lot of the other macro indicators and the S&P and that kind of stuff, just to give you an idea of what's happening in the market. Because like I said, at the minute, when the Dixie kind of goes, is moving up, it typically shows a risk-off move in the market. And Bitcoin is no different to the S&P or the NASDAQ in that it is an asset that is, yes, it's value and it's supposed to hedge against inflation. But at the same time, you have to remember that people are buying Bitcoin as a risky asset, and it's still something that people hope to hold to sell for profit in the future, right? And it's a very volatile asset. So so just be aware of that there is that correlation for Bitcoin to the major markets. Interestingly enough as well, I just wanted to make a quick remark on gold, because obviously gold is typically the flight to safety and the true inflation hedge in times of uncertainty, fear and doubt. And that is showing some strength over here, okay, where we created this floor at about 1700, 1680 on gold, and that is also starting to create some market structure of higher highs and higher lows. Okay, so if gold starts to move up, that might indicate another indicator of risk off asset purchases in the market. So just be aware of that. I did mention as well, and a lot of my other videos like Cardano, a few people didn't really like that video because I think people, I was telling people basically probably what they didn't want to hear. A lot of Cardano holders that, essentially it's going to like 70 cent. That was kind of my base case scenario, for Cardano, and that the charts look shit. And you just have to be objective with what you see. So a lot of the other altcoins that you're holding, if you are alt heavy, I would consider, maybe just having a little bit more of a cash position or a Bitcoin core position, because that will prevent you from the downside volatility in times like these. As for the length of this downtrend, where does it end? When will it stop? It could stop today, it could stop this week, it could stop in a month or two. This whole year could be a bear market. You just need to be prepared for all of this stuff, right? Like I said, my base case might be that it goes to 25, but I might be wrong, and I'm happy to be wrong. Right? I can make money either way in this market. But if we do continue to create low lows and we break this level over here, do expect that it is going to take quite a bit of work, and for Bitcoin to probably form some consolidation and base before we can basically start creating that next leg higher in this macro bull market. So like I said, just be aware of these situations, and for me, this is just again an opportunity for me to average into the market at cheaper prices. Think of how many people at the market highs were going, oh, I would absolutely snap Bitcoin up at 50k, 40k, and now it's at like 30k, 38k, whatever it is, right? And people don't want to buy it because they don't put their money where their mouth is, right? The most important thing is that you take action, and that you actually have a systemized plan. So that's my market ramble for today. I'll catch you in the next video. Like the video if you haven't already, and I will speak to you in the next one.